Right, yeah. Have I gone?
No, I think we've got you.
You've got me in sound.
Yes.
It's terrible here.
Phew. I'm just turning it down a bit because it's a bit toppy, but we're fine. We're fine. Right. Well, it's been a very, it's been a very hectic technical issues day, but we are all good. We, as you can see, have Nicola, we have Sarah, and myself. So welcome to Secret Sewing Club. And if I put that on, I turned it on this time, but I didn't clip it on. It's always something, isn't it? So the way the Secret Sewing Club works is I have these lovely ladies with me here, and they will be showing you all sorts of new and exciting things that they have. Everything, if you want it, you need to go directly to that company. Now, once we get going, and when guys are doing the demonstrations, there will be QR codes in that corner, I think, and then straps along the bottom. It's back to front, upside down, who knows. But there are QR codes, so if you're watching on your big telly, you can have a look there. And if you don't know how to do QR codes, sorry, I'm getting a load of messages through because there's a naughty spammy person on oh no, look, I've pressed terrible things. There we go. No, there's a naughty spammy man on the craft store which I need to go and sort out. So Sarah, can I just double check that you have actually, we've got you now and we've got volume?
Can you hear me and see me?
I think we can. You're a little bit crackly, but I'm going to sort that out. And Nicola.
Hello.
Hello, my lovely.
Long time no see, Hayley. Like a couple of weeks.
I know, retreat, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. We had a lovely time. We're going to do another one. Talking to Adam about it. It's going to be very exciting. But before that, I think we're going to go and let you crack on with your first demonstration, and Sarah and I are going to talk a little technical stuff and make sure we iron out a few wrinkles, and then we will all catch up for a proper chat after your first demo. So, are you ready to go, Nicola? Always ready.
Right,
You're the only one I can consistently count on to have stuff ready, and when I drop everybody in it and go, can you go first please, then she's always there. So yes, it's over to you, Nicola.
Hello everyone, welcome to Secret Sewing Club. Lovely to be here, and thank you for joining us. I have got loads to tell you about and lots to show you, so it might take a little while before I get to my first demo, but bear with, because I will just want to show you everything. Now, some news: I am going to do a May challenge, so that starts next week. And it's throughout the month of May, and I am challenging you to make a single quilt a day. A single quilt a day. I hear you say, how am I going to make a quilt a day? It's really easy, because my quilts are really teeny tiny. So on the May challenge this year, I'm going to grab, I've got a stash down here, so bear with me. I am going to be concentrating this year on the 3.5 inch hexagon, which is Quilt-as-you-go. I'm going to show you there. Hopefully the sunshine. It's my big boy. It's made this quilt behind me. This is a new quilt. And if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you know I made this in under a week. I was super speedy and I got it made. And this is the new quilt. So this is my water lilies quilt, and it is made using the 3.5 inch hexagon and the 3.5 inch half hexagon. So this is quite easy to make one a day, and this is the finished size of the hexagon. It looks bigger, but the finished size is this. So you can easily make one of these a day. So that is the challenge, one a day. So on the show today, I have got the 3.5 inch hexagon, and I have got the 3.5 inch, I'm trying to hold everything up, half hexagon. Now the big hexagon is £19, and I can't remember what the 3.5 inch hexagon is. Dave, can you remind me what it is? Here, let me know in a moment. I should have written it down. Hayley thinks I'm really organised, but I'm not that organised. So Dave's here, so I've asked him to, I think it's £15. So these two together,
15.
yeah, it's 15. Now, if you buy the pair together, you'll get a discount.
Sorry, Nicola, you are
have to buy them
organised.
together to
I
get
know
a
you are.
discount.
So
So
if
they're
you
on
can't
the
hear me-
show.
Hello. Yes,
Oh,
you are
hello.
super organised. You always are.
I didn't know the prices. I
That's
don't know all
okay, because we can hop on the website and show them in a little bit for the pricing. So once you're finished, we'll hop on the website and we'll show
Yeah.
everybody all of that. So don't worry about that too much.
I've got so much to show though. I'm going to just keep cracking
You
on.
crash on, no problem.
All right, because then along with those templates, they have friends that play well together. I've just dropped one on the floor, but never mind, I have to pick that up. It plays with the 7-inch triangle. It plays with the 3.5-inch diamond. It plays with the 3.5-inch triangle there, and it also plays with the 3.5-inch crown. Now you can buy all of those templates for £80 in a set, so you're saving quite a bit of money on the whole set. So that's the template side of things. Woohoo! Loads going on. And if you want to join the April challenge, the 3.5 is what I'm going to concentrate. If you've got a 2.5-inch hexagon, not a problem. You can use that as well. I just want you to make a quilt a day. But I have got something new. So the lovely quilt behind me, I've actually managed to make the pattern for it. So I'm going to move this closer to the screen. That is the quilt finished. That is the back of the quilt. And it's also got a bonus 2.5-inch version. So if you want to do a challenge, you can use a 2.5 with this pattern. Show you,
Nicola,
it's unbelievable
I
today.
have got
Oh,
your website up now.
yeah.
If you want me to show people all of those patterns, because you said there was loads and they were all £6.
The 3.5-inch ones are all on the seat. Oh, I've just changed.
That's all right. I've got you while you're moving all your cameras around. So this is Nicola's website, and you can see there as I scroll through, you can see those £6 patterns popping up. Oh, you've got some lovely fabrics as well. Excellent. Let me just switch you back.
Right.
There you go. You were back. They wouldn't have caught that last bit about the extra deal.
Oh, okay. So when you pop your patterns into your my camera keeps Dave. My camera keeps being. It's one of those days, and I can hear Sarah as well in the back.
Okay, I can mute Sarah for you. That's fine. It's just we were sorting other bits and pieces out.
Lovely, because I'm very distracted. It doesn't take a lot, and I'm like, woohoo!
Ooh, shiny.
Where was I going? If you pop your patterns in your basket, the first pattern will be £6. The second pattern will be £3, which is half price. So you have to put them in your basket, and then the deal will come up. So buy one, get one half price. There you go. On the 3.5-inch pattern. So there's 5 of those to choose from. Now, this is a preview to my May challenge. So I'm going to give you a bit of a sneaky preview into this. I have made Happy sunshine placemats for a picnic table. I just love them. So now these are going to be part of the May challenge as well. So what I have done, I've got the fabric here, and you can get a metre of fabric for £12, which it would normally be 16. But I'm also going to send you the instructions and the little face and things with your fabric so that you can make the placemats. You will need the 3.5-inch triangle and the 3.5-inch hexagon to make the placemats. I've got more. I'm so sorry. I've got more and more and more. We've got the hexagon sewing books, which open out and you can pop all your sewing bits and bobs in. I have 3 versions of them, including a new one, which is in the same fabric as my quilt behind. I've got a blue one and I've got a red one. So there's those. And last but not least, I am going to be making a quilt during the month of May. And I am going to be using these bundles of fat 8s. So I've got this. Let me go to the Zoom. There we go. There we go. I've got these lovely neutrals. These are all fat 8s. I've paused my let's go to the, my camera is playing up, Hayley. I will carry on. As these lovely neutrals.
Just give me a shout if you need me to either jump onto your web or come back to all together if you're struggling.
Can you go onto the website so I can sort the camera?
Problem.
I think okay. I know what to do.
So if you, can I mute you? Yes, you're muted, don't worry. So if you just go to daisyandgrace.co.uk, it will take you here. Everything that Nicola is showing you today will be within this section here, which is the Secret Sewing Club. And then all of the things that she will be showing you, you will be able to find here. So she's just, I know, starting to look at the beautiful fat 8th bundles. And there are some of the quilt patterns that she was talking about before, where you've got those extra special savings on top of the prices on the screen. And then actually she's got a second page today. Whoa, she's got all there, Bonnie. Very, very pretty. And all of this she will be coming to later. We're just taking a second just so she can fix her camera. Are you sorted, my lovely? Yep, thumbs up.
I'm now
in the room.
Yes. So I was like, yes, I'm ready. So I'm going to just double check it. That should, yes, there we go, okay. Overhead.
All right, back to you.
So we got this lovely bundle of neutrals. They have 10 fat 8s, should be £20, and for the month of May, or while stocks last, should I say, because I haven't got masses, they are 15. Then I've got the pinks version, which has peaches, pinks, greys, and creams in there. That's another bundle. And last but not least, if I can grab them, I've got the yellows, turquoises, and blues. So there we go. Let's put them. They're beautiful. So there are 10 fat 8s in the bundle, and they're £15. So I will put those away, and I need to go to my first demo, really. Oh, my camera's stalled. There we go. I'm here. Woohoo! So have I got time to do a demo, Hayley?
Yes, you can, my lovely. Go for it.
So first things first, I am going to show you how I make, and I've told Dave to take it and I need it now, is my sewing book, the new one, please, Dave. He's just going to pass it in to me. Voila! So I am going to start by showing you how I make this pocket in the back, which you can put all your goodies in. So I'm going to start with that. So Hayley, I am having real difficulties because I've lost everything, but I'm nearly. See, that was.
Let me just check if Sarah's wandered off.
No, I'm okay now. I've realised where I sit. I know where I know now. I'm being rubbish today, Hayley. It's because
It's
you told
all
me
right.
to
Well, see,
organise.
we did ask people, did they prefer the very organised studio situation, or did they prefer us doing it from home? And they said they quite like the chaos. So I think we're bringing that today. So
I'm providing the chaos, everyone. Hope you like it.
Yeah, we all love a bit of chaos. No, go for it. Go for it. You're all good.
Lovely. So I'm going to head down to the Zoom. Hopefully that will work. Let's see. Oh, yes. Woohoo! It's worked. So I am going to show you how to make this pocket. So let's move all my stuff out of the way, the bits that I don't need yet. And what we've got is the back of the hexagon. You're not going to be able to see this very well, but we've got some plastic. We've got a zip, and we've got some ribbon and a glue pen. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to move that aside because I don't need that just yet. I'm going to show you a really simple way of putting your zip in. And this is plastic. So you might think, oh, crikey, I haven't got a silicone foot. My machine doesn't cope well with plastic. But it doesn't matter because this way of doing it is super easy. And so I'm running a line of glue along that zip, and I'm positioning the plastic on top, and I'll give that a finger press. And you can see I've moved the slider of the teeth is right the way over here, and the pocket starts here. And that will make it slightly easier to sew the zip on. The next thing I'm going to do is another bit of glue on top, and I'm going to put the ribbon in place on one side, and then I'm going to glue the other side and go put ribbon on that side there. So this plastic is encased between the zip and the ribbon, so that when you go to sew it, the plastic isn't on the feed dogs, so that it doesn't, and the plastic isn't on the foot, so that you can sew it easily. So I'm going to go hopefully to the sewing machine and show you how I stitch it. So let's see if that works. Ah, yes, we're
Just
there.
while you're sewing, we've got some
Hallelujah.
comments saying don't ever change. They appreciate the chaos. I think it's fine.
Oh,
This is from Janice Baker. She'll be taking up your May challenge and hopefully
yay.
making the picnic mats.
Oh, perfect. That's lovely.
See, it's all fine. Chaos embraced.
Perfect. Well, now I've got my zipper foot on my sewing machine, and I put navy thread in so that you can hopefully see where I'm stitching. Oh, hang on. Except for I haven't got my foot in the right place. Oh dear, it's
You're
one
having
of
one of
those.
those today, aren't you?
I am having, I think they call it a mare, isn't it? That's why. Oh, silly girl. I'm such a silly girl. I'd had it on zigzag. No wonder it would nearly hit my foot. So all I'm going to do is stitch down close to the teeth on that edge of the ribbon. Now, that slider hasn't got in my way because it's out of the way of the pocket. Then I'm going to turn it round and sew this bottom edge. And my thread. Then I'm going to sew the other side. So just put that there. So although the chaos has ruled today, Hayley, one thing that hasn't gone wrong is sewing that zip in live on TV. So, except my camera's stalled again, and let's go to, oh, now I'm gone to the front, and I should have gone to the Zoom. Hello, everyone. Bear with. Yay! And it's actually frozen. This isn't very good, is it?
Well, it is a new camera you're playing with today, though, isn't it?
It is a new camera that I'm playing.
So-
I'm absolutely frozen. Let's try.
I'll tell you what it might be, because I know you've switched on to a phone to do it.
Yeah.
It might, because obviously phones sometimes automatically lock the screen. It might be that. If it is, get Dave to message me in between this one and your next one. And we will go and I will help you fix that. I've got something that can fix that for you. You're still, I think you're still frozen, my love. You might have to go back onto the front one.
I can't. Am I on the front now?
No, I've just got hands, my love.
Oh no.
It's all right. Sarah's back. So what I'll do is I'll grab all of us.
Okay, Dave's in the picture.
We'll pop back to you. That's all right. We can have Dave too. We don't mind.
Yeah.
We don't mind a bit of Dave as well. I mean,
Okay.
he's been she's back. She's gone.
Oh.
She's gone again. Oh.
Oh,
Oh dear.
we're in the front. Can you see me?
Let me just switch it to everybody, and then we'll just all jump back together. Hang on one second. I'm just.
And I'd like to
messing with my camera, and now I've got to get myself back in as well, which doesn't help, does it?
And I'd like to take the opportunity, Hayley, to apologise on Dave's behalf if anybody heard his little mutterings, because they weren't very polite.
Okay. We shall. I mean, hey, they join us for the chaos, and I think we're delivering today.
Yeah. Can you see Dave's arm?
No, we can't see anything. It's all black at the minute on you guys. So,
okay.
Sarah.
Can you see?
She's back in the room, and there's Dave's arm.
Yes, we're fitting cameras.
Hi, Dave.
At least
we'll do
the cats
is
haven't
if
joined in
Sarah
as
is
well.
ready, I will throw to Sarah, and I will let Sarah get cracking with the demo. I will send Dave a couple of links, which I think may solve your freezing camera problem.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Thank
Sarah,
you.
my lovely, are you ready to go? Oh no! Are you? Please tell me you're just pretending that you've got no sound. Oh, that was my fault. I muted you.
Did you mute me? Can you hear me now? Oh. It's definitely one of those days today, isn't
Absolutely.
it, Nicola?
It started out so well, and now it's chaos.
This is
Excellent.
working.
So
now.
I shall pass it over to you, Sarah, and let you
Okay.
get cracking. And
no.
I shall try and help Dave sort his new camera.
Stalling.
See you soon.
Right. Well, hello, everybody. We are here, I promise. And I know Hayley said that you'd like to see the sort of chaos of it, and we're bringing that to you in spades today. I know I had trouble connecting and then disconnecting, and then, but I want to introduce you first of all to my new studio, which is still in flux. Behind me you can see there's lots going on, but I have got myself a filming pod. It's just not ready yet, so I will be broadcasting from there. And I can see my camera's just decided that it wants to track. Oh yes, that's annoying, isn't it? Yeah. I'm not going to touch a camera, because, you know, it's just going to be, hello, Sarah writes, it's nice to see you too. Right, so what I thought I would do, first of all, I've got some kits, because I have moved premises, and I have downsized a little, but I just kept finding stuff. I'm going to try and switch off that really annoying tracking. I think that might... Yes, that's the joy of AI. It just switches itself on and says it wants to track you, and I bob my head a lot when I talk. So I just thought anyway I would come on with some kits. Now some of these are very sparing. Okay, I haven't got many of them at all. Now you can see the discount code on the page there. That's off the whole website until Friday. Okay, and I will be dispatching these. I'll be processing any orders starting on Wednesday because I've got 2 incredibly busy days. So I'm going to do them on Wednesday. So don't panic. You have a
Sarah,
while.
can I
It's just you
can I
will
just
find
double
it.
check with you
Oh,
that I got that code right. Is it secret or is it secret 10?
secret 10.
Right.
Secret and the number 10.
Yeah, if you just let people know for now, I will get that changed and I'll pop it back up for you.
Oh, I didn't see that. Sorry. Yeah, because it doesn't come up on my screen. But it is secret 10. Also, if you go to my website and you go into the shop, you will see a section that says a secret sewing club. I wonder if I can bring that up myself. I probably can't. But there you go. Yeah, secret sewing club, and I put the stuff in there as well, but it's off the whole website. So that makes just
Your website while you fix your tracking AI, and I'll show them where they can find all of those things that you are going to show them in just a second. So this is Sarah's website here. So when you first arrive on it, if you just go to sarahpayne.co.uk, you will end up here on the home page. What you then need to do is hit shop, and that will come up with all of these different categories. So then if you go into the Secret Sewing Club, this is where you'll find all of those bargains that Sarah has today. But on top of that, remember that code, which is secret 10, which I am going to correct and put back up onto the page. Are you all right for me to come back to you? I can see you doing thinking. Okay.
Yeah. Oh no, I just scratched my chin.
Just itchy chin. Okay, no thinking.
I just got that.
Right.
Just run over there.
Do just remember it's secret 10 for that 10% discount, not just secret. I will get that fixed and I'll swap that out for you in just a second.
Thank you. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the first one where I've only got one. And I had this on the telly and it sold out. So I brought it back and it sold out again. And I found one kit. Now, I don't know what that noise is. I hope you can't hear it, but there's something very noisy in my building right now. Sounds like a train's going past. But let's see if I can move the camera up. You see that quilt? That quilt behind me? That one that's on the wall and is slightly off. That's because it's got magnets on it, and I got a droopy magnet, but you know, could be worse. That is the Bohemian Summer quilt. Let's bring the camera back down again. Ooh. Slowly. There we go. So that was it. And let's just go. Here we go. This is the pattern. But as I said, I found one. There's just one of these. All right. It's a very simple pattern, very easy to make, beautifully effective. That's the quilt there. And this is the fabric. There are 10 long quarters of the fabric in there. This sold out twice on telly, and it is very bright, and I thought it had all gone. But I found one when we were moving in the back of the cupboard. So I'm just going to show it very quickly because, as I said, there's only one, and I don't like too much to tease you with my loveliness, but I am just for a moment. So can you see that? It's just gorgeous, really simple to do, a nice, easy make. And yeah, as I said, just the one. Right, so let's put that back here. That, I think, is £55, but use your code and it'll be 50. Then I have a kit called Fluttering By. Well, I've got slightly more of these. And if I just show you again, put on the top, Fluttering By, might as well open the open the packet. So this is it. Okay, and these are the fabrics in the kit. So you are getting 5, I think it's ½ meter pieces, if I just look very quickly, 40 centimeter pieces, and 1.4 meters of the white, and that will make this fella. There we go. Nice and simple. Again, you know me, I like to keep things very, very simple. They're basically snowballs. So if you've done them before, there you go. So, and I also decorated them with Suffolk puffs and Suffolk puffs and buttons. I'm breaking my teeth in for an idiot. So they're in the kit as well. Okay.
Do you just want me to come in and just say Suffolk puffs for you?
Yes, please.
No problem. Just wave when you need me.
Yeah, Suffolk puffs. Right. So we've got a couple of those left. Ooh, and I'm just knocking, hopefully not knocking the other table. So now you're seeing behind the glass, you know, behind the mirror, so to speak. Right.
Yeah, but people love that though. People love to see what actually goes on and the chaos. I had a random visit from Anthea.
From who?
Anthea from Quilting Antics.
Oh yes, how's she doing?
We were just painting and filling some screw holes in walls and repainting them. And then randomly Anthea rocks up to pick her lights up that Debbie Shaw borrowed off her. There's a lot behind the curtain.
Oh, I've spent the last couple of days sticking wallpaper on the outside of my pod and sound silencing and up ladders, and I might have fallen over on the on my step and taken the skin off my knee. But it's really that's what these things you have to do to get be able to produce content.
Have your own business, they said. It will be fun, they said.
You never work a day in your life, they said, if you love what you do. They lied.
No, you work all of them.
Yes, so then I've got this one. This is the hamper that I do, and we've got a few left. Not many, but we've got a couple left. And I was just watching Nicola with the lovely hexagons. And this is the hamper pattern. I've got a few of these left, and it's Y-shaped seams, and you've got 20 centimeters of 11 fabrics, plus, I'm going to show you these are fabrics that I have printed something I painted onto. So you get 4 Bs with your collection. So you'll get 4 of these. They're on A4 sheets. You get the ruler included. Okay. So and then you're sewing your Y-shaped seams with the sewing machine, and that's all detailed. If I haven't got a ruler anymore because I've had to order some more, and they're coming on Monday. So I'm using the paper template. But this is the pattern. There are the bees. There you go, you can see, and we do Y-shaped seams because I'm not clever enough to do quilt-as-you-go like Nicola does. We're sewing the whole thing and then maintaining the unusual edging like that in it. So you've got you've got a pattern here that's unusual because it's not flat when it's binding. Sorry, it's not straight edge when you're binding it. So this is the kit. I love this fabric. Absolutely love it. We've got 4 with little bees on. Oh, by the way, this is called Honeycomb Harmony. So you've got, it's actually as well, it's got the backing in it. Unusually that kit has backing in too. Usually we don't put it in the back, we don't put the backing in, but with my hampers I always include the backing as well. So here we've got 4 different bees. Oh, am I moving my camera? Maybe I am. Then we've got 4 coordinating florals, and then we've got 2 checks and a plain, and we've got those, as I said, 2 bees, which you'll cut out yourself. And I'm quite limited on those 2 now. And again, your 10% off will get you a discount. Then we have another, what was a hamper from, oh goodness, I can't remember when it was from. No, I can't remember where it was from.
While you're remembering, your code is now fixed.
Oh, my code is now fixed. Secret 10.
Yep.
Right, so this is wreaths and wings. There we go. This is the wreaths and wings with a Dresden plate and a butterfly. Okay. I fell in love with these fabrics when they came. And the actual selection will vary, but you will have butterflies and flowers, and there's gold detail in here as well. So that's appliqued on top as Dresden plate. And then we have an appliqued butterfly as well. Oops. So that's on there too. And this quilt pack, it contains full pack quarters of feature fabric, 60 centimeters of the purple speckly, which is called mulberry, and 75 centimeters of a background, which will either be white on white or cream on cream. You'll need a bit of bondweb and a bit of lightweight in facing, but this will be a 35-inch square project, and there is an extra bit at the back, which, because I always include in all my patterns how to take it all the way through and completely finish, and how to get it sorted, but there's a cushion pattern in the back as well, an extra cushion pattern. Where are we? Oh, there we are. So there's a cushion pattern with a mitered border on it as well, so how to do a mitered border for your cushion. So there's lots of techniques in those, and an envelope back. So I think there's about 5 of those left, something like that. And then we have another, because I liked that butterfly fabric so much, I did a second kit with it. So this is called Butterfly Haven. And this again is a very simple one. Hang on, there we go. It's basically squares and half square triangles, which are nice and simple to get to grips with. But if I just show you the pattern, you can see it's quite a size, and it's all about the placement of your fabrics. And I just thought that was so cheerful. I love the fabric so much, I decided I want to do a second project with you with it. So those are the limited numbers. I'm just going to have to tidy that all up later. We'll just ignore the mess, but hopefully you've seen something that you like. Right, I lost my screen then for a moment. I hope you could still all see me. I've
got a couple of messages of,
okay,
just I was going to say random people. They're people who are just joining us on Facebook. So Mandy says she has the Bohemian Summer Quilt. It's a lovely pattern and the fabric is beautiful quality. Rosemary says be careful, get off the ladders. Yeah. Sarah says your mic's gone, but it hasn't. You're fine. It might have been a little bit earlier in proceedings, but yes, you've got lots of lovely comments and lots saying don't fall off ladders.
Yes, it wasn't actually a ladder. It was, you know, when you get the I've got a little step. There's only one step on it.
Oh,
but
like hop-up things.
Yes, that's what I've got, because I'm lethal with the ladder. And, you know, after the broken leg, we decided we weren't going to try anything like that again. No
more ladders.
I'm just asking for trouble. But there we go.
Sarah Jane Kennedy says, watch out for cleavage cam as well.
Oh.
I have put a strap right across. Good work. And I've put a strap right across where the danger zone would be. So I've
got a vest on. It's not that bad, you know. there's only so much you can do with these.
It's all right. It's all right. We've had Sasha. She's the worst culprit for the flashing, so I'm sure you'll be fine.
Saved my modesty.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So, would you like me to do a little demo, or
Yeah.
do you want
I'll tell you what. Do a quick little demo, and then we'll grab everybody together, and we'll have the chat that we should have had right at the beginning.
Yes. So, what I thought I'd do is I've got with that. Hang on. Where is it? Which bundle? What have I done with it? I'd lose my head if it wasn't. Oh, here they are. Okay. Right, so let's move the camera onto here. So what I'm going to do is show you very quickly how Y-shaped seams actually work. And what I want is I'm going to cut very quickly 3 hexagons from the fabrics I've got. As I said, your kit will have a ruler in it, so it will have the hexagon ruler even, but I don't have any of those at the moment, and I hope they were going to be here yesterday, but now they're going to be here on Monday. So we're going to use the paper template, which is, sorry?
You should have said we could have cut some for you.
Oh, they're not my templates. They are
your own. We can do that. Talk later. Maybe next time. I did do my own rulers for my sewing street show this week, and I'll need some more of those probably, so I'll give you a ring. And I've just lost my actual ruler. Hang on, you just chat amongst yourselves for a moment. Okay. Yes, I'm just cutting. Oh, I'm just cutting 3. Oh, sorry. Was it the scissor sharpener we did together?
Oh,
or just scissors?
yeah, that's right. And they were amazing. Because I was like, oh, really?
It is a good one. And I've got the rotary sharpeners back as well. So if you've got rubbish blades, hang on to them for me.
Okay, I
I've
will.
sharpened all of mine.
Yes, I've been doing a lot of cutting over the last week, and I've gone through 4 blades. Well, the last month actually, because I had the hamper as well. And when I'm doing the hamper, that's an awful lot of pieces when there's 12 bits of fabric in each kit. Next time I'm going to design a quilt that only uses 2 bits of fabric, just bigger ones. Right, so here we go. We have got 3 hexagons here, all right, and we want to sew them together. Now, what you do normally is you quilt as you go, or EPP or something like that, but there are times where you want to use the sewing machine. So how do you do a Y-shaped seam? Because you could sew it
while you're getting yourself organised there, Sarah, I must apologise. I have pressed some wrong buttons and I have accidentally put the Secret Sewing Club onto Craft Yourself Silly instead of the Secret Sewing Club.
Oh, okay.
So, we will, once we're done, I will get it downloaded and re-uploaded to the Secret Sewing Club YouTube page. I'm sorry, there's like 4 different YouTube accounts.
Yes.
And I've pressed the wrong one. So I apologise. If you are trying to find us and you can't find us on YouTube, we are on the Craft Yourself Silly one. I've pressed the wrong button. I'm sorry. I will get it uploaded to the Secret Sewing.
But it's on the right Facebook page, isn't it?
It's on the right Facebook page, yes. Okay. I am just a disaster zone. Yeah, people are finding us, so it is fine. People are finding us, but we're all good.
Okay, right. So I'm going to set my machine for a 1/4 inch seam allowance, which with this foot, that's a bit wobbly. I've got something underneath it. There we go. Right, so here we can see I've done my start and stop points and I'm putting the right sides together, and we want to start here at that point and stop here. So I put red thread in it just because that means you're going to be able to see. I'm not being racy. You're going to see the start and stopping. So what I do is I come in like this and I'm finding that little cross where the 1/4 inch is and dropping down my, hang on, my needle, so I know where I'm starting. There we go. Sorry, I've got papers that have just dropped onto my sewing foot. Right, okay. And then we're going to go forward 1 stitch, and then I'm going to go back 1 stitch, okay, because I want that to be secured. Actually, I'm using the 1/4 inch stitch, which doesn't have a back stitch, it has a stop stitch, so that's even better. And then we'll sew along to the end. And stop. Right, so here we've started and stopped on that. Actually, I haven't quite stopped on the point there. That will be a good example of what you shouldn't do. Okay, so now I'm going to open it up and you can see there's a gap. That is where we're going to insert our other piece. So I'll get this one, put them right sides together. Right, like that. Okay, and we're going to stitch, keeping that piece out of the way. We're going to stitch again on that cross. And move it. And do a stop stitch. Yes, because where my new studios are, we're in a big warehouse area and I don't have a roof. So somebody is in working this weekend, and I did say to them, I'm doing a live at 2. Could you make sure you keep it quiet? And I think somebody forgot. So I'm going to go and yell at them afterwards. That's why I've built my little filming pod. It's just not ready yet. So what I'm going to do now, I should have marked another line, a 1/4. Also on your ruler, when you get with the hexagon ruler, these dots are marked So, but I find it.
But after you're finished with this demonstration, Sarah, have a word with Nicola, because I'm sure she's invented a special Y seam tool thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's yeah. When we come back together, we'll have a look.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure
So
she's
now
got a special thing.
I'm sewing in the third piece. It's a good idea to do a stop stitch because you don't want it pulling apart. All right, and that is where we've got all three. Now you can see where I didn't stitch quite far enough. You can see a little, oh, I get the right place, a little bit of red thread. And that's because I didn't stitch all the way up. Can you see here? There's a gap between there and there. And that's why we can see it. So when you get a gap like that, what we do is we take it back to the sewing machine and we stitch a little bit further. And then we get a neat Y-shaped seam. There we go. And I'm just going to give that a quick press. I do go into exactly how to press it in the booklet. But you see how that's nice and neat for your Y-shaped seam. What you want to do is I press them in a clockwise or an anti-clockwise direction, and then this will naturally sit and make like a little tumbling block in the middle. Just press that a bit more. And that will mean it is nice and flat for when you want to quilt it. You see that? You can obviously see the red thread that I've used. And I don't suggest you use red thread with this. You use an off-white, but that's how you do your Y-shaped seams with hexagons. So I hope that made sense.
Excellent.
Let me go and grab Nicola. There she is. She's always ready. Always, always. Let me just fix that. Excellent. Back in the room. Unmute her quick. There we go. Unmuted.
Hello.
I know. I've got to.
I can't see.
Stuff up. So I've put my camera in the way.
Where's the three?
It's all good. Is everybody back? Can you see us?
Hi,
All right.
I can't see you guys. Hang on a second.
See you. So we're all right.
Dave's just doing things. Bear
Okay,
with.
just let Dave do
Oh,
things.
I
It'll
see
be
you all
fun.
now.
So, how are we all? Because we didn't get to have a little chat in the beginning because it was all a bit,
Mad.
wasn't it?
Yes.
So, what have you been up to, Nicola?
Well, I've been getting ready for my May challenge, really. I'm making this quilt. So I
Lovely.
had really good fun making this quilt. If I move back, you can quite see how big it is, really, because it doesn't look that big, but it is quite huge. It is quite a whopper. Because when I'm forward, it just looks like it's little, but actually,
Like Father Ted, close and far away.
I never watched that, so I don't get the reference.
You've
but
missed out. You've missed out. It's one of those ones you should maybe go and catch up on a.
These are small. Those are far away.
Ah.
Now you
That's confusing me even more.
He's trying to teach Father Dougal about the toy cow that's next to him that is small, because out the window the toy ones look the same size as the real ones.
Oh,
He's trying to teach him about that.
I'll have to try and catch that on the telly box.
You will, yes. Even if you just do the small and far away one, then
Yeah,
that's enough. That's enough.
Oh,
and what have you been up to, Sarah, apart from moving and?
Goodness me, it's been a bit chaotic over here because it's just me at the moment. So I've been packing kits all week because I did shows at the weekend for Sewing Street, and the very nice man from Yodel came and picked up 320 parcels on Friday, which is why I'm not sending.
Well, very nice man from Yodel.
He was quite cute, really. Anyway, tried being single. might have had a little flirt. Apparently, I flirt all the time. I don't get it. Anyway, yeah. So I've moved into my new unit. I've got my sewing street. No, I haven't. I've got my sewing school next weekend here. So I'm frantically trying to tidy everything so it's good for visitors. And then I've got the weekend after, I'm doing my mighty hike in Norfolk for Macmillan. I'm walking half a marathon. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Lots of things do, Sarah.
Yeah, I booked it in like January.
That's no problem. And then you're like,
yeah, I was like, May, everything will be settled by May. It so isn't. So yes, and then I've got the book coming out. The next book on English paper piecing is coming out at the end of May. I'd like to say it's finished,
it's not.
but that would be a lie.
But it's not.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that leaves everything to the last minute.
Oh, I tell you, squeaky bum time. You know, we take everything to the wire, and it doesn't matter how organised I try to get. Something like today, you know, I came in 8:30, and then I spent 2.5 hours trying to fix my printer, just so that I could print out the front cover.
I only finished this yesterday.
Yeah, it's up on the wall. But this is the thing that people don't understand. That's the pace that we have to work at half the time, because
it was
when
like,
you've got things
pattern.
like you know, like Sewing Street, and where you've got deadlines and things.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the pace you have to work with. You literally finish it. The sample's done, but you're finishing off the instructions and things up to the day before you've got to go on air, kind of thing.
Yeah, my new fabric range hits England because it's on a boat at the moment coming from South Korea. That's due in the middle of May. So by the end of May, I have to have done all the quilt designs, made all the quilt samples.
And you know, there will be a school of thought that says, oh, well, make the design first and then add the fabrics in. But it doesn't work like that, because then when you see them, you know, you're like, oh, well, I might do this there and I might do that there. Oh, I've got a couple of questions as well. Sarah, does the Butterfly Haven have a kit? Because Sarah writes and can't find it, so you might want to go on to Facebook and answer that one.
Yes, let me just. I might not have put it in the thing.
Right. Well, we'll give you what I'm thinking is, we might head back across to Nicola to let you finish what you were doing. Did Dave get the links that I sent him?
Oh, no, because we've got both phones going.
I sent him a link saying this is the app that you need, and it sorts everything out.
But I'll just do, while you're there, let's just see, there's that sewing machine, Zoom, Super Zoom, yay!
Super Zoom. Excellent, right. I'll let you finish off your demo, and then when we come back, I'll very quickly show you the Wonky window template that we've got. Brilliant for things with, you know, slightly bigger patterns, so all you have, like your caifs and those kind of things. Brilliant for that. And then we'll go back around again and do demo number 2, and then we'll all go and have a lie down and a glass of wine.
Yeah, I can't, because I've got something else going on tonight as well.
Oh, is it a Missouri Star thing?
Oh no, it's a stitch up Sunday stitch up.
I thought you might be doing exciting American things.
I've got a meeting on Tuesday, so you never know.
Lovely. All right then. Well, I shall pass it over to you, and you can finish off demo part 1.
Perfect. So I'm going to go straight over to this bit and put my goggles on so I can see what I'm doing. So before I stitched the ribbon onto the zip, and the plastic is all there. And now we're going to put it onto the backing. So what I do, I've cut it so it's the size of the hexagon, so you know where it goes. And all I do is run a bit of glue down the side, because we cannot put pins in plastic because it will leave a hole. And we don't want holes in our plastic. That wouldn't be very nice, would it? But we can put pins in our ribbons. So I'm just going to pin this top edge, and then I'm going to take that back to the sewing machine and stitch that top edge down onto the fabric. So we go back to the sewing machine. Oh, it's working. Hallelujah. And we're going to stitch this top edge. And again, I'm stitching in a bit like Sarah and her red thread. I'm stitching in navy thread so that you can see what I'm doing. And I'm taking the pins out as I go. Just to about there. Perfect. Over to the zoom. Let's go. Oh, that is the zoom. Perfect. So our plastic is down, our zip is in. If I turn that over, you can see we've got the ends over the edge. So all I'm going to do is trim that down like that. Now this end has got my slider over here. Now we don't want to trim that until that slider is in that pocket, because otherwise, yeah, you're going to end up with the zip cut off. So we'll turn that over now, and now I can trim that edge. So this is the pocket side of my sewing book done, but we need to put all the things that are going on the back, which, if I bring this over, here's the pocket, and on the back we've got a place for scissors, pens, and a little tie to keep our scissors in. So let's do some of that. Here is my little piece. You get the pattern for this in the pattern or the kit. This is my piece for my scissor keeper, and what I'm going to do is fold that in half, and I'm going to just finger press down that edge. Now I'm going to go to the sewing machine. I've got to take my zipper foot off and put my normal foot back on, and I need to change my machine to 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, because I'm going to stitch along this edge down here and then stop and do a bit on that edge and leave a hole in this edge. It'll be a bit more clearer once I've sewn it, so bear with. I'm going to start. I'm going to go do a back stitch just so that that corner stays nice, and then I'm going to turn it and go halfway down, do a back tack, cut my thread, then move it down so that I've got a gap and start again. So a few stitches, a couple of back tacks, and down to the end, and a couple of back tacks again. So there we have, oh, let's go. So here we have the piece I've stitched. So you can see I've stitched across the top, down there, left a gap, stitched down here. Now, this, I am going to trim the corners on this because it's such a small piece and there's such a cute corners that you really don't want excess fabric in the way. So I'm just going to trim the corners, and then you can turn this through. So I've left my pokey tool, but never mind, I'm going to use the scissors carefully. You don't want to poke the corners through so that the scissors come through, because that would be a bit of a disaster. And I'll just check that I've got to put my iron on so that I can give this a press. So just press, pull the corners through. If by any chance you do go right the way through your corners, turn it back the other way and just re-stitch that bit that's come away. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, you'll get a shape like this. Here's one. I did do a bit of prep work. Here is one I made earlier. Now we also want to make these little bars that you put your pens in. So I've taken a piece of fabric and I've ironed under 1/4 of an inch each side, and I'm going to fold that in half and stitch 1/4 of an inch down the side. So again, back to the sewing machine. A couple of back tacks. Now this is a bit weird because I've turned under both ends of this tube, and I'm going to do something very strange, and you're going to wonder why I'm doing it, but I'm going to explain why. So I've stitched that, and you're going to turn it through. I've turned mine through, and you've got a lovely little section, but I'm going to fold that in half and then cut it in half. Weird, I know, but it just is a little bit easier than trying to stitch 2 little tubes and turn the ends under. And I'm just going to press under 1/4 of an inch on each end. So let's assemble this piece on the back. So what I'm going to do is, this is the backing of my quilt-as-you-go hexagon, and I've folded it in half, and I'm going to finger press down there just so that gives me a line of where to position everything. I'm going to take my template back and position that over the top. Now this is my scissor keeper, and we want it to go in the center. So I'm finger pressing the scissor keeper as well, and I'm positioning that on that center line. Now on this bottom bit here, you're going to be turning the binding, so you don't want that scissor keeper too close to the inner edge. I don't know if you can see that inner edge of the template. You want it up so that when you stitch your bindings, this is not going to be in the way. So that is in the center. So I'm going to put a couple of pins in place, and then I've got my ribbon here, and about 3/4 of an inch, it's not an exact science, you're going to position your ribbon. Now I folded the ribbon in half to give me a little crease line. That goes about 3/4 of an inch up. Not an exact science. You put it where you feel right, and that will, you can thread that through your scissors to keep your scissors tidy. So I'm just going to take this to the sewing machine, sew down there, and sew down these edges. So let's take my machine back off 1/4 of an inch because we don't need that now. And I'm going to move that pin. My camera's gone again. My sewing machine camera's just died. So Dave's just gone, no, yes, my sewing machine camera has just died. So Dave is just, I will sew it quickly.
Bring us back to...
Well, you know what? I'm not going to even sew it. I'm going to show you on this one because I can go to the Zoom. So all I was going to do, this was the ribbon that I was stitching, and I was going to stitch down this bit here to make it. Then all we're going to do, I'm going to take, everything's going.
Beeping things?
No, that was me. So look, I'm just going to take those off, and we're going to pretend they're stitched on there. Turn that over. I'm going to put my template back on my hexagon like that, and I'm going to take my wadding and position that in the middle of the hexagon, and I'm going to take my pocket with, well, here's one I've got with nice white thread so it doesn't look so clunky. I'm going to position this in place. Now this top edge I can put a pin in all the way through, but this plastic bit I don't want to put a pin in, so I just lift that end up and put that inside, and when we've sewn it we can go in and take that pin back out. I'm going to remove this now that this is secure. And the beauty of this is plastic, and you wouldn't normally sit, as I said, you want to encase plastic all the time because you don't really want stitched directly on plastic. So this is the same quilt-as-you-go method. So you fold the first edge to meet the inner edge, and then you roll it over. And I am actually going to take pins, but all I'm going to pin is the binding. That's all I'm going to sew. All I'm going to pin is the binding. So do one edge and do another edge, and then you're not stitching directly on that plastic, which is perfect because you just don't want to. And you carry on pinning it, and you stitch an eighth or as close to that edge as you possibly can, like this. And then you're not sewing the plastic, you're sewing the binding. And that is how easy it is to do. So that is how to make the back of one of these. And then the front is easier than the back. So it's a really lovely little project to do, and great for friends if you've got quilty friends. And it's very handy just to pop in your bag. You can put all your bits in and you're ready to go. So it's really easy, that one. But I've got some other versions. I've got a red version and a blue version, and I've actually done some English paper piecing and done a little badge with some embroidery that you get in the packs for those. But this one doesn't have it. So there you go. I don't think Hayley is quite ready for her demo. I think she can't hear me either. So I am going to go and show you something else with my templates. And Hayley can give me a shout when she's ready. So I'll just carry on. Oh, and Sarah, I know Sarah's there. That's my little easy Y seam tool that makes, you can use it with diamonds, hexagons, pentagons, all sorts of things. Similar principle, but you just literally place it on and you do your easy Y seams on that. And I wanted to show you, I made this top using my easy Y seam tool with hexagons. So you can make fabric and then you can make a little top. So I wanted to show you that as well. I still don't think Hayley is ready. So I will show you what you can do with my templates. So if I go here is a selection of my templates that I've made up in fabric in these gorgeous colors, but obviously you can do what you want. And these are the shapes that are in my pack and that I will be using for the May challenge. I've got the hexagon, half hexagon, the diamond, the triangle, the the crown and the triangle. And I'm just going to show you how lovely it is to play with these templates. So a nice easy thing to do for a placemat is with the half hexagons. You can create a bigger hexagon with the half hexagons, but you can also, if you move them this way, you could get another effect. I've got to put my thinking, I'm turning them over so I know I've done them. There we go. I've got to put my thinking head back on. You can also do like a log cabin effect with the half hexagons. I think Hayley might be nearly ready. When she's ready, she can give me a nod if she can hear me.
Yes, sorry, I couldn't hear you because I went to go and turn some extra lights on, and then somehow between the 5 feet that I went to a light switch, lost my earpiece, so I couldn't hear you.
That's
So
all right. I thought you weren't ready, Hayley, so I just started playing with all my.
Yeah, just keep cracking on.
I was just playing. just showing
Yeah.
how you can use them, and then you can play with how you use them. I've come up with so many designs just by playing and creating different shapes.
You're going to need a zoom out now.
I know I've got too big, haven't I? Oh, what am I going to do now? But it's things like the crowns. If you put 3 crowns together, creates a 3.5-inch hexagon. So can you see that you can then do a different type of hexagon quilt? If you put 3 diamonds together, it makes a hexagon. You can make another hexagon. If you put, obviously, if you put 2 half hexagons, yeah, 2 half hexagons, that makes a hexagon. And the triangles, I love triangles, or tringles as I call them. If you put 6 of those together, you get another hexagon. So can you see how you can create some amazing designs? And this is what I'm going to be doing on my May challenge. I haven't actually designed what I'm doing. I'm going to do it all on the hoof using those lovely fat 8s. So it's going to be fun, and you can join the fun with me making errors so that you don't have to make them. So that's going to be really good.
It's not only quilt as you go, it's design as you go then.
It is design as you go, because I literally haven't designed what the finished piece is. I've got it in my head. I think I know what it's going to be, but it's not quite there yet. So I do it every day with everyone.
That old chestnut.
Yeah.
Right, I have everybody. Oh, Sarah's concentrating. Hang on. Just needle threading. Okay, that's fine. Well, we've got as long as we want, really, because I mean nobody's going to say we can't. But what I was going to do was let Sarah get set up for her next one. But while you're doing that, because I saw you furiously threading needles, I will very quickly tell you what we've brought this time around. And then, have you got another demo as well, Nicola, or are you going out now? I won't make you. You don't have to.
I could play more with these, but I think I'm really sort of demoed out.
That's no problem. Well, we'll go for a 4 o'clock finish then. Early dart, wine, everybody's happy. Well, you can have what little wine and then do your thing. But what I will do is I will very quickly show you the Wonky window templates, and then I will jump back over to you, Sarah, and you can finish off your last one. So I don't know if I even set mine up. Oh, I have. Well done. So I get so focused on sorting everybody else's stuff out, I forget to do my own half the time. And I was just fingers crossed that it was all going to be fine. But it's all good. So what I have today is excuse all the cables, but there's no way around it in here. It's like we're sending out rockets. So what I have is the Wonky window template. So the Wonky window template is it's a 4-part template set. So you've got number 1, number 2 and 4 are on the same piece. Number 3 is this one here, and number 5 is this large one over here. Now these all are clear plastic. You just need to pick the white off the side. This side's already peeled off for you, so you are good to go. It's just the back that you need to peel off. So let me just grab some fabrics. Oh, these are heavy. There we go. Now, the kind of fabric that this really, really suits is something like a cave print, because the cave prints are quite big and they are obviously, there's a lot going on them. So sometimes if you're working in really tiny half square triangles and things, it's difficult to get the kind of impact from them. But because this is your kind of largest size, which is about a 6-inch square as a finished size, then you've got that big space that you can use for any of your, I'm going to just go and find, that's the one I wanted. See this big beautiful piece here. Now if you were going to try and put that in a smaller, more fiddly, I mean it might even fit in, that's the smaller piece, but you can see you're going to lose sides and things. But by having the Wonky window, can you just see it through there? If I bring it a bit closer and try and get the reflection off it. No, I'd have to pick the plastic off to show you. But the beauty of the Wonky window template is that if you've got those big punchy designs, it works so well with this because you're getting big areas to play with. Now, the way that it works is you cut all your pieces out. Now, this template, which is the 2-part template, is probably the kind of most important one. If I show you the back, then you'll be able to see. It's actually kind of 2 templates in one. So to cut template number 4, you're going to cut around the whole thing. To cut template number 2, you're going to cut from this outer edge to this far edge here, because it's got that seam allowance already marked on. Now, there are some boxes on the Craft Yourself Silly website that come with the template and the instructions, but also come with 3 of our 1.5 inch rolls. And the reason we give you the 1.5 inch rolls is because that is exactly the width of this template here. So what you can do is when you're cutting the pieces, if you're cutting size 4, you can just cut the full piece. If you're cutting size 2, then you go from the edge and you go to that first line there, which is giving you the seam allowance as well, and you cut number 2 to there. And the way then you put them together is you take your big punchy piece of kaif, then you use your strip to separate it, then you maybe have another piece of kaif, which would be in the size 3 off to one side. Then you're gonna have, let me chop one of these up. Oh, I've got 3 of them, I can just put them all out at once. Look, there we go. Then you're gonna have that in the middle. Let me grab another piece, and then that one. Oh, if I put these over the top, then you'll get the look of the block without me actually having to chop anything up. So that's what you're going to end up with. You're going to end up with a block that's got all of these big, powerful, punchy colours in. But then you can use the Wonky window template to allow those to do their thing. But then by adding the plain into the middle, that's kind of calming everything down, giving your eye a little bit of a gap in between and allowing those big, bright, punchy colours to do their thing. So what I will do is quickly switch that back and then go and grab the website for you, because I'm very close now. It's a bit much. I'm very, very close. Let me just go and grab the website for you, and I will show you exactly where all of these things are. I've got to switch it over on the thing. Where's the website gone? There it is. Okay, so this is our Craft Yourself Silly website. So if you head up the top here to Secret Sewing Club, and then today, you will see all of these things are on there. So there are some kaif half-metre packs. Oh, she put another offer on. What offer has she put on? Oh, I see what she's done. So if you put a Wonky window set in and one of the kaif half-metre bundles in, so these kaif half-metre bundles, they are potluck. We've kind of grouped things into blues, into pinks, into darks, and into greens. So greens were the ones that I was playing with there. But if you pop one of those in your basket, and let me just go back and get the other one, and one of the Wonky window templates and roll sets, and you can see they come in lots of different colours for the roll sets. So you're getting your template and you're getting 3 rolls in there. So the rolls are about £6 each, and then you've got your template as well. So there's a lot going on in there, and the rolls are all 12 metres each. So you will get loads and loads on there. Definitely enough for one large project, possibly 2. You've got black, purple, navy, blue, and another light purple and a white. Now I have all of these colours here, so let me just switch it back to me. Boop, and then that one, there we go. So if I clear these, I mean, do you know what? I'm going to leave the green one down and I'm going to switch the colours out so you can see the difference that it makes. So we've got a black one. See if I can get it to come down here as well. There we go. It makes such a difference changing the colour. See, now I've changed up. When it was the light blue, it was picking up more of the colours in this one. Now I've switched it to the black. It's picking up all of the black within this one. Let's try another one. I'm interested to whack the purple in because I think, again, it's going to make this one really, really pop. I'm trying to scooch these back together as I go because otherwise I'm going to end up in a right mess. So let's go with the purple one. And with Kafie's got so many colours within all of the designs. Again, it's just picking out the purples, and it's picking out some of the colours from within this one as well. But we have loads of those different half-metre bundles. And where does all this fabric come from, you may ask? It comes from, if we are doing cutting jobs for other people, I've got the navy now. Let me just pop that down. We do a lot of cutting jobs for other people. So either on what we affectionately call the squasher, which is a great big 60-ton press. See, looking in the blue as well. That navy blue works really, really well. It just, because it's darker and it gives that contrast, it's just making all those really bright colours pop. We buy up whatever's left over. So, for example, if we've done a job and we have cut up, meters and meters worth of stuff, doesn't always come. If it says a 12-metre bolt, it doesn't always come as a 12-metre bolt. What it comes as is sometimes it's 13.5, sometimes it's 11. It's, I mean, you guys will know this well. I've just got nodding dogs to my side here. It never comes the size it should be. So sometimes there's half metre left, sometimes there's 1.5 meters left. What we do is we buy the whole lot off the company and we then chop it up into half meters. So there's another colourway. Again, just bringing out all those little kind of pops of white and cream in there. This is a brilliant kit, brilliant for your bigger pieces, and especially if you're doing memory pieces and maybe you've got lots of leftover bits of fabric. Maybe you've been working on quilts for years and years and years and you've got little bits and pieces of everything. Maybe you've got less than a fat quarter left. These are great sizes to play with because you've got big enough, chunky enough bits to be able to see that fabric. So maybe if it was a memory piece and you've got different shirts or different dresses, you can take elements out of each of them with these larger pieces here. So you've got that feature fabric, it's recognizable, and then by putting that extra little gap in between, and it is just a 1-inch strip, so these will all kind of work back to a finished 10-inch block. So once you've sewn it all together, you'll trim it back to 10.5 and then sew them together as 10-inch blocks, and then you've got even more that you can do with this one, because you can make them all exactly the same orientation. So like I've got this one here, I've got the long skinny block at the top, and then I've got the smallest one to the left and the bigger one to the right. Left and right. Was I right there? Because my left and right's not fantastic. Never has been, and I figure it never will be by now. But what you can do is you can either always make them in the same orientation, or you can start playing with them and mixing them and turning them in a completely random fashion or in a kind of a more predictable fashion. It's entirely up to you, but it is a really, really good set to just have a play with and to use up all of those scraps. So let me go and grab everybody else, and then we will go and see Sarah. Everybody back in the building?
Yeah, I went, what?
Was I a bit quick there?
I was suddenly ironing something and I was like, oh, I better get...
You guys know what I mean though, when you get a bolt of fabric and it says 12 meters. How often is it actually 12 meters?
And when you buy 10 fabrics for a kit, but you can only, one of them's 11 meters and another one's 12 and one's 10.
One's 13 and a half, and then you're like,
So you're limited to the number of kits you can do by the shortest bolt. It's really frustrating.
So this is where all this fabric comes from for us. When we're cutting up other people's stuff and they want, you know, a certain amount of, you know, layer cakes or whatever, then whatever is left over, we say, okay, well, we'll, instead of us posting that back to you and charging you for the postage, we'll buy it off you. So they save the postage and then we save a bit on buying it. And that means we can bring all the kind of fantastic, well, I'm saying they're offcuts, but they're a bit too nice to be called offcuts, aren't they?
I do potluck bags.
Yeah, that's what we call them.
By end of bolts and things like that. The thing is, they're so popular that it takes ages to build up the fabric stash enough to make some more.
I know. And what we do is, if you have a look at those, we'll kind of, hopefully, intelligently put them together so that, you know, those three would kind of, they're from completely different collections, but the colour palette's similar and they would work together if you wanted to kind of work them together into things. Or because it's CAFE, you could just go wild and pick, you know, three completely different ones and it would still work. Right, are you ready, Mrs. Sarah?
Yes, I am. Okay.
Miss Sarah.
Miss Sarah, yeah.
Mrs. Sarah.
Have you married off to somebody and I hadn't noticed?
Yes, I have. Married you off to the Yodel man.
Well, you never know.
What's his face?
Then you'll always get your parcels picked up on time.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah. Oh dear, that it got so bad that I got an email saying, oh, I noticed you wanted to, I got this on Thursday, you want your parcels collected on Friday, but we've got them down for tomorrow. What do you want to do about it? I emailed them back, went, tomorrow is Friday. And then I was sitting here going, I'm sure tomorrow's Friday. It's Friday.
They're making you doubt yourself.
I know it was bank holiday. Tell me, did either of you have bank holiday off?
Yes. No, not the first one. I got the second one. The first one I was on Sewing Street, and then the second one I did manage to get off.
Yeah, I was on Sewing Street on Sunday, Easter Sunday. Anyway.
We all went in turn, actually. I think I was on Friday, and then Sarah from White Gecko was Saturday, and then you were Sunday.
Yeah. Though I think I've left my denim jacket behind, and I'm not driving back for it.
When are you next down?
At the end of May. So
I'm down on the 17th. Do you want me to see if it's there and bring it back with me?
Yes, that would be lovely.
Sorry,
the denim
in our lives. You can just join in if you're watching.
On the back. It's denim's got hand embroidery on the back, a big sparkly flower there.
Just email one of the people and tell them to give it to me when I'm in on.
Yes.
17th.
Yeah,
I'll pick it up.
That's the way. Right. Well, I'm just going to do a demo now. We've got 20 minutes left. Right. Fantastic.
I shall switch it over to you.
Thank you very much. So elegant in my denim jacket and sparkles. Right, so what I'm going to show you now is I've got a new book coming out, and because my printer wasn't working, and there was lots of swearing, and a very nice man in the building did try and come and help me with my printer, and it worked temporarily, but I'll show you. I had to take a picture of the book cover on my phone so that I can show it to you. There we are. Ooh, come on. So that's on my website. Okay, that's in the Secret Sewing Club. Too many S's. Sarah Payne in the Secret Sewing Club folder on my website. But yes, this is due out at the end of May. And it's available on pre-order, and it's an introduction to English paper piecing, because I've loved English paper piecing for so long, because I like stuff to do when I'm on the train or on a flight or something like that. So what I did earlier this year was bring out a nice range of little kits, little packs, EPP, for Glasgow. We launched them in Glasgow. I say earlier this year, I think it was March, Glasgow was, and they went really well. So they're on my website at the moment, and I'm just going to show them to you. So there are 2 sets of kits. Okay, there's an English paper piecing coaster kit. These have got 4 fabrics. One is for the back, a bit of wadding, and 3 other fabrics for the front, and all the pieces, the precision cut pieces. And I can tell you, I don't know if I'm going to do any more because it took blooming ages on my scan. I had 2 scan and cuts on the go at the same time, cutting all the paper piecing. So now I've had a little lie down.
Done. We can fix it. I know we've got a load of dies that have English paper piece bits.
That may be a possibility because it was driving me
conversations.
Yeah, with the long mat, 2 scan and cuts, and it was great fun. She says through gritted teeth. But this is available on my website. It's got full instructions in there, 2 pages, and it's £6.50. Okay, so that is a nice, simple sort of hexagon to make yourself a nice coaster for your sewing room. And the other kit was to produce, this is the English paper piecing flower. Okay, now the kit itself contains enough fabric. So this is from one kit, and this kit is £9.50, but there is enough fabric to make 4 of them. Plus, if I'd have I think there's enough to make a 5th. But the way I've done it, you mix up the colours. So maybe I could have got away with, using this one at one less time, and sort of mix up the colours a bit. But there's enough to definitely do 4, maybe 5. And again, they are, you can make 5 of those. Now on my website, there are some options for this one. So there are different fabric bundles, and you can select, I think there's a hydrangea, that's hydrangea, and then we've got the various fabric bundles. There we go. And as I said, you can make 4 or 5. So that will make a big cushion or a table runner or a block for the center of a panel if you wanted to. And I'm just going to show you how easy it is to do EPP with magic glue. Okay, so this is sticks to fabric glue pen, again on my website. I think this is genius. I saw Nicola using one earlier for zips. I mean, this stuff, it's like, got a hem that's come down and you're on the train, you can glue it up until you get home. I use it for zips all the time because it means I don't have to pin them. Any products that I don't want to pin through, you can use it. I even use it on the back of my binding sometimes when I'm being extremely lazy and I can't be bothered to pin the back of my binding down, just when I sew it all around, so I can glue it. There you go. Also, when I'm doing quilt-as-you-go with larger quilts, and I've got to put the when you do it with the quilt-as-you-go with the backing, so you've got that strip that you want to fold over, you can't pin that, so you can't machine stitch it, but you can glue it. So when you turn it over the other side, you can stitch in the ditch. But this is how we use it here. So I've got one of my precision cut templates here, and I'm going to glue it down. And the joy with using this is that I can keep using my template. I've cut them on thin card or thick paper. I can't remember what the GSM is because that's paper crafting question. But anyway, we can pop it on there and
Sarah,
cut
while you're
round.
cutting that out, do the glue pens have 10% off as well? Is a question
Yes.
I've got.
Everything on the website does. Now, I have just noticed that my website allowed somebody to buy the Bohemian quilt, even though somebody else had got it. So I'm afraid there was only one, and it. With this particular design, I'm leaving the bottom open because when we go to sew the circle in, it helps if you've left the outer card on and your center circle, you just go down and sew through that. It means you don't end up with any gaps. So leave that sort of raw at that edge. Just do one more. And what I tend to do is I do a lot of these in one go and prepare them and then sit down and sew them. Right, so let's come round. There's a little cheerful child in here somewhere.
It sounds like creepy horror film sewing now.
Yes, hopefully by the time we do this again, my pod will be finished.
Okay. Well, that's all right. I mean, people wanted the chaos, so we have definitely delivered that
yes.
today.
We can bring the chaos. Right, so now this has the texture of lipstick rather than Pritt stick. That's what I always say. So you're just sort of careful with it. You don't need to press too hard. And now we fold our fabric over.
Is it a less is more situation?
Yes, yes. It doesn't gum up your needle. It dries clear. And there we go. We've got those two pieces done. Now I have a needle and thread. And we're going to sew our pieces together. Right, I'm going to put a knot in one end. So we take the two pieces that we're working on, put them right sides together, and then I just do a little stitch in the seam allowance.
Can I just ask a question about the knots? Because there are some English paper piecing police, and I have met them.
Yes.
Who say that you shouldn't put knots in, and that you shouldn't sew it like the way that you are there. You should sew it with holding it so both pieces are kind of facing away from you.
Yes. So like that.
Well, no, I was told to sew it, not, you know, how you're holding it on the side there. If you twist it 90 degrees, yes, like that.
Yes, you can do it. You can hold it however you want.
I mean, my opinion on that is do whatever gets you your results.
Yes.
You can have knots, you cannot have knots, you can hold it any way you like, as long as you get the results you want. Crack on.
And the thing is, this at the top here is not flat because it's curved on a curve. It's lumpy, so you won't feel that knot because the fabric is quite thick underneath. But what you can do is, because what I'm going to do a stop stitch now. Let's see if we can get that right. I'm going to do a stop stitch, so you can hold this down. The knot is here, but we can trim it off. Like when you're embroidering and you do the waist knot method. You know, you're burying the knot, you're putting the knot in, but then you're cutting it off once your thread is secured. So what I do is, let's see if we can get this to focus in. Come on, right. I've got those two pieces right sides together, and I'm going to pass my needle through the very edge of the fold. Okay, you see that? I'm just picking up a couple of threads. Right, and then I'm wrapping my thread around my needle. I'll just do it twice like that, and then pull it through, and I've secured it with another knot, and I can cut this knot off if I wanted to. Okay, that's not needed anymore because my thread is secured. So it's like when you're embroidering with the waist knot method. But I firmly believe that whatever makes it pleasurable for you and enjoyable for you and easy to do is how you should do it. It's like crochet. When I'm teaching crochet and people say, oh, you should hold it this way. No, you should hold it whatever way you can crochet. I do not accept the quilt police. I tend to ignore them. And it makes me, sorry?
I agree. I think, yes, you know, there is a perfect prescribed way to do it, but I think then that takes the fun out of it. And I think you just go with whatever method gets you results, because I mean, not everybody's built the same. Some people have got, you know, different mobilities and things like that, and maybe you need to do it another way because, you know, other ways hurt.
Don't work for you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So when we're actually doing the stitch, you want to keep it perpendicular to your shapes. All right, you can hold it this way or you can hold it this way, whichever way you like, but you want to keep it perpendicular because that's, well, basically at right angles. That's a fancy word for right angles. Because what I then do is go backwards and forwards like this and just pick the very edge, because you want to keep your stitching as close to the edge and a shorter distance. If you do those diagonal whip stitches, it'll be very visible from the front. But then, to be honest, who cares if it's visible from the front, because it's hand sewn. You know, I sometimes think that it looks nice to see those stitches. And then I move backwards and forwards. A nice tip actually is to have a smaller needle, because then you can get very close to the edge. So you can see here, I'm doing stitches which are just under probably 1/8 of an inch. Some people say you should do it closer together. But what I do, and I call this my rule of thumb, is every thumb width, about that long, every thumb width, I put another stop stitch, because that's going to hold it together. So that's one of the reasons why you have to do so many stitches, is that they don't pull apart. But you see, then my stitches are not visible there. Ooh, let's get that focus in. There you are. You can hardly see the stitches, and it's not going to pull apart. Also, when you're hand stitching sometimes and you pull your thread like that, it snaps. It only snaps as far back to your last stop stitch. So it's a lot quicker doing this method, because every inch we're only doing about 8 stitches, because that stop stitch holds it together, keeps it secure.
You know your rule of thumb?
Yes.
Now, I remember looking this up on one of the Create and Craft or Crafts or Hochand or whatever, when it was, shows, what that meant. Do you know what that means?
No.
Okay. The rule of thumb is it's an old kind of medieval thing, and that is the maximum kind of width of the stick you can beat your wife with. It has to be no thicker than like the diameter, the circumference of your thumb. So
oh my goodness, I'd hit them back. that just riles me up, something chronic. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's not allowed. Any form of sticks are
yes.
not allowed.
So there we go.
Yeah, that used to be the rule. I'm just gonna see if I can find out how long ago the rule was from.
I'm gonna have to.
It being on a show, but I can't remember how long ago this rule is from. I think it is like a super. Oh, there you go. 1782. 1782, an English judge ruled that it was fine to beat your wife as long as the stick was no thicker than your thumb.
Goodness me. All those uppity women, hey?
I think we'd definitely be in the uppity women category.
We would, yes. So I'm just coming down towards the end now. I'll do another stop stitch there. And because I haven't folded over the end bit, hang on, there we go. You can see the paper stops there. I've just gone a couple of stitches further along because this particular design stays open. But there we go. They're the pieces. And they're much, much easier to sew when they're glued because they're tighter as well and they're sharper. And then what we do is when we have got, hang on, let's see if there's any with any papers left. This one's got a paper left. Okay, so what I do then is I give it a press. Oh, first of all, I take the needle out. So I have got an iron over here, but it won't fit on the table. Right, so I've just given that a quick press and then we can take
the heat's kind of reactivating the glue. Do you need steam or just heat?
No. I just want to make sure that when I take the papers out, that edge stays crisp.
Right.
So you can see none of these are I've got papers in anymore, but this is starting to lift up. So what I do is just add a little bit more in there. Now that's ready to be appliqued down onto whatever project I want to do. Whether these are going to be individual little placemats, you could do double-sided like that and make them into pin cushions. I think that's quite sweet, and stuff it, hand sew it all the way around. You could machine them onto a panel or into the center of blocks or a blanket stitch. You know, you really can play with them, but the kits are $9.50 each and you can make 4, possibly 5, because there's enough fabric, it's just you run out of colors. So there's enough pieces in there and the papers are reusable. So if what you're looking to do is work through your stash, once you've created, you know, once you've got your kits, you can keep on going indefinitely. Because when you hand stitch through your papers, with my camera, when you hand stitch through your papers, it distorts them. Whereas when you're gluing them, they will get a bit sort of floppy, but the glue, using the glue pen means they can be used again and again and again. So there we are.
I'm not showing you what I've done. No, I'm not showing you. Secret. It's secret sewing.
Can't argue with that. Wow.